Yes, we are here looking through the Midnight Prism at Bob's in Pagana.
The most elusive of the cryptids.
Yes, it's a duo.
So, Bob's, please.
It's one of those rare cryptid duos that's like they're two separate creatures yet together. You know.
The Death Angel's Shadow says it's all about the Bobs. Yes, it is, sir. Oh, man. What is going on, guys? Good to see everybody. We are on, I don't even know, episode 18. That's what it is. It's episode 18. We did 18 of these motherfuckers already. How about that?
Nice.
You know, I gotta say, I'm in a really weird kind of chill mood tonight. You know, I came up with a really off the wall topic because, you know, there wasn't no researching and craziness that I wasn't serious going into this one, folks. I'll be honest with you. And that's because, like, man, this week has been so fucking hectic. And, you know, by the way, breaking news on the personal front. As of March 6th, I will be headed to the great state of Tennessee. I am relocating. I am moving officially. My house is sold. One chapter is closed. A new chapter is beginning.
Hell yeah.
And, you know, there are some things, and I have the Give, Send, Go pinned. We are only $900 away from the goal. I intend to take that and turn that around into helping get the stuff I need to move. Also, make the last payment on, you know, the few utilities that need to stay on until I leave the property, and also I need to do a couple of touch-up things on the house, mainly so that I pass inspection and everything, like no peeling paint. Like the appraiser's going to be looking at that, so I have to touch up paint two of the windowsills outside. So, yeah, so that's a bit of good news. Although, yeah, I really hope that I can hit that last $900 and get to the goal so that I can get all squared away and set for moving. And then, you know, I imagine that second week of March, I won't be around. And then I will be back. The final week of March. So, because obviously I'm going to take the week to get acclimated in wherever my new home is in Tennessee, which now that I have completed the task as a seller or close to completing the task, I have to now look at things as a buyer. So I have to reach out to my agent in Tennessee and see what the lay of the land is there. So,
Hell yeah. Things are just moving right along.
yeah, I'll be honest. I was thinking about it between yesterday night and when things became a reality today after the open house. Living in this place all my life, living in here 48 years, it's kind of surreal picking up and leaving. I'll be honest. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye to all those memories, all those years of life. But it is exciting on the other hand because, as you guys know, there was a lot that I sacrificed, not only to take care of mom, but my father as well before he died. I sacrificed probably the best years of my life caregiving. And hey, if I could go back in time, I'd do it all over again. But now is my time to live. And, I'm looking forward to it. What do you got going on there, Cleo?
It's
Oh,
your
God.
it's your theme song.
Oh, God. Come on. Stop now.
All right.
Keep going.
Is he
We,
going to
we
get a
want to hear this.
strike for this?
I'm not going to be boys to girls. Hail, Tina Bojan.
No, but
What's
seriously,
going on?
we are happy for you, buddy. We know you've been
Hell yeah.
stressed out a lot this past year, so it's good that this is finally winding down for you. You can
Hail,
focus
Dwayne
on
Erickson.
what's important.
Um,
Yeah.
Hail to you, Steve Kenobi. Great to see you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new start. It's going to be nice. I'll be living in the mountains. It'll be a tactically superior place to be. So I'm happy about that. And yeah,
Buy some more guns.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm getting me an AR, buddy. You best believe.
Yeah.
Um,
Watch out for them Chinese balloons.
yeah. I put a hole in that. Hail to another monster. What's going on, buddy? Nephilim in the house. If cryptids are real, we are all fucked. No, we'll get the cryptids to fight for us.
As long as they're American cryptids.
Yep. Soul Assassin says, don't believe Drew. He's fleeing to Tennessee to avoid all the baby mamas knocking on his door. Dude, if only you knew about Lorraine, man. There are just like nothing but baby mama drama.
Wow.
Yeah, and these women around here are cray cray.
I can't believe you even just said that.
They are. They some cray cray people. But no, I'm glad that this all came together. Shout out to my realtor; she was awesome, and she's hot as fuck. Good God, man! But
Wow.
Alyssa, my realtor, was awesome. Alyssa King said, if you're in the Ohio area and you need to sell your home, hit up my girl Alyssa. Man, she was amazing. All right, so tonight, well, we are going to talk about, is the U.S. government hiding cryptids? I say that there are some things that I have heard that lend some credence to that. I mean, there have been whispers of stories that you know, creatures like Bigfoot, like Sasquatch, they have been genetically experimented on, manipulated, whatever, and the government does not want you to know what they are because they have a hand in experimenting on this species or these creatures. And I've heard that theory of that for quite a while. Um, Strange government underground labs have been found in the middle of rural wooded areas, heavily forested areas. You can go on YouTube and find the people that explore abandoned shit all the time. There's there's ones where people have found legitimate, like, strange lab facilities in the middle of woods. So go figure. Why is that? Why do you find that there? Oh, we've heard of things like the creatures like the Wendigo or the Mothman or things like that. Are these possible government experiments? There's such weird rabbit holes and tangents to go down. I know that there's footage floating around somewhere of there was a guy that supposedly put out, "Hi Becky, great to see you." Becky Brown's in the house. Always great to see my fellow Browns fan. What's going on, darling? Um, you know, there are things like the Giants supposedly were concealed by the government. They didn't want the truth to get out about Giants. And there was a guy that put out footage and shortly after disappeared. So go figure. I mean, it's crazy. Steve, yes, you're not wrong about that. I've seen really weird pictures and things like that of just oddly people with odd features that are weirdly shaped, just
Yeah.
crazy stuff. RR says
Maybe their family tried to keep the bloodline pure, if you know what I mean.
RR says they have giant skeletons in the Smithsonian. It's very interesting, and you can talk about the same thing with UAP phenomena, and I still feel weird calling it UAPs. Low spec Linux laptop, what's going on, brother? Great to see you. The UFOs that people see, we go back to all the commotion this week. And by the way, make sure you tune in to United Resistance Tuesday because we're going to be talking about this whole Chinese spy balloon situation from a tactical standpoint, from the ramifications it has politically, the government stuff, the whole 9 yards. But what I will say from the UFO end of it is, if you think about it now, how many of these UFOs, and I'm talking about, like, let's say the huge triangle one that's been seen over multiple countries, things of that nature, how many of these are just really dressed up, mocked up surveillance machines? And they're the public passed off to the public as unexplained phenomena, as UFOs. That is now a very real possibility.
Yeah. See, it's like a double-edged plausible deniability kind of thing where people have believed in UFOs for long enough. If they had surveillance technology that mimicked flight and movement of certain known UFOs, then they would absolutely allow that to be plausible deniability for surveillance capabilities,
Yeah, Soul Assassin says there was a video of a weird animal that washed up on a beach that was near a known testing facility. Yeah, that was Immortal Coil, actually.
Well, I was going to bring that up. The Montauk Project. There
The
was
Montauk, yeah.
yeah, there was a
Freaky looking fucking thing,
The
dude.
Mancock.
the Doomcock Project. Well, they were experimenting with ripping holes in the fabric of reality, and supposedly a beast emerged from it and tore into everybody. And
Nice.
yeah, it had to be put down somehow. But if they figure out a way to access dimensional gateways and bring through something like that, who's to say that they didn't bring through other things and perhaps tame them? Or
Right. And
yeah,
then there's the, you know, everybody's
Hey.
wet dreams for some reason for a long time was this genetic manipulation and crossbreeding, which, you know, there's been reports that they're doing that in Alabama right now with catfish and alligators. And, you know, genetic crossbreeding between these two
sure.
creatures cannot be a good thing.
Well, no, you've been eating it for years. That's Monsanto right there.
Oh,
Hail
yeah.
to our boy Jay Spots from 540 Studio. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. The Chimeras. The only thing I remember about Chimera is they were a hell of a good metal band. But no, I know exactly what you're talking about, RR. All kidding aside. But yeah, Chimera was a kick ass metal band from Cleveland.
When you think about it, there is a precedent for that sort of thing in literature. In the Apocrypha, in the Book of Enoch, they talk about early attempts at humankind where they were making literal chimeras that were things that were not quite human but not quite animal. They were trying to hone in
Yeah.
on some sort of a domestic being to do the god's dirty work.
Well, listen, it's feasible, and I've always thought about that because remember that weird video we saw of that, supposedly crossbred creature. It was what part pig and something else. I forget what
Half
it was.
man, half bear, half
You
pig.
know, it was
I'm
nuts.
perfect.
But it was nuts that, and remember that video was scrubbed from Twitter very quickly after it came out. Now that one clip, I'm trying. It was definitely a hybridized animal, and I wouldn't be surprised that there is precedent for black budget genetic experiments.
I guarantee you they're doing black budget genetic experiments. I can guarantee you that if the government is really good at one thing, and that's lying about a lot of things. And so I personally believe that they're not only hiding cryptids and things that we don't know, but I think that they might have actually tried to exterminate certain cryptids,
RR
probably even like
says
Bigfoot.
RR says according to Mesopotamian tablets, humans are chimeras.
Yes, that's exactly what I was alluding to earlier. Yeah, I was just reading an article the other day about there's about 2% of our DNA that has no occurrence in nature down to the invertebrate phase that were sideways inserted into our genome. And they want to suppose that it's bacteria or whatever, but nah, that's the hand of whatever the fuck made us. I won't say God, but they might.
Solus Acid says that cabin in the woods scene with all the monsters and different cells seems plausible. Yeah,
Hey, you never know.
you wonder about that because again, weird facilities have been found in otherwise rural areas. It is a weird rabbit hole to go down, you guys,
Well,
and that's what freaks me out about.
and then
a lot
think
of
about
this.
how many decommissioned silos there are, and not all of those have gone into public possession either. Some of those have been converted into other facilities.
Yes,
So
100%.
I mean, you never know what they're doing in DUMBs, deep underground
Mhm.
military bases, DUMBs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that term. It's great.
Well, I've often wondered, like, okay, and I'll leave it here and just tease a story. There's a story that really weirds me out, and I will tell you folks in just a second. Because I'm going to go get a bottle of water, so I'm going to hand
Oh,
it off
he's
to
gonna
Corey. I'm going to hand it
leave
off
us
to
on a
Corey for a
cliffhanger.
minute. But yes, I have a great story I want to get into in just a second. Corey, go ahead and talk about what you were wanting to talk about.
He's such a tease. Oh my gosh.
He handed
Well,
you the reins. You could talk about anything.
hell yeah. And like think about the utility of using an underground military base as genetic research for a genetic research like facility. You could use radiation testing and stuff like that, and it wouldn't get noticed if it was underneath certain, sedimentary rocks. You could do biochemical testing without much of risk of escape. You could do all kinds of crazy stuff in underground military bases. So, they probably have like living mammoths down there that they're studying, that they're like, hey, yeah, we made this in a test tube. Yeah. Just saying. You never know what
Yeah.
they got under there.
I'm trying to figure out what Drew's singing while he's shaking it twice.
Yeah.
That's right, folks. Well, and I'm also forced to wonder about there's been legends about cryptids all throughout the world, and specifically Native Americans were talking about red-headed giants that had six-fingered fists and things like that.
Yep.
And then we had the chat mention about how things have been pulled from the Smithsonian. I think Alex Jones just had a guest on, and he was talking about shit that they found in Alaska.
Oh man, like I bet you they've found some stuff in the northern reaches that people can't even imagine.
Sure.
Like yeah, we've already seen the like 1,000-year-old virus bullshit, whatever. Or who cares? Nobody cares about that. But like they probably unearthed some like. Have you ever seen The Wall with the Great Wall or whatever the fuck it was called with Matt Damon and what's his fuck? Where those creatures? Yeah. That's what I'm like, I bet you they have like they found something like
They
that.
asked the creatures to show Bob's
And yes, and vag. Yes.
and vegan.
All right, so another monster right there. He says those are the Nephilim. We were just talking about the red-headed giants with the six-fingered fist.
Yep.
The Bible calls them the Anakim.
Yeah.
Right? There we go.
No, the rocker with the shocker.
Yeah,
Wow.
so supposedly there were American forces that engaged being like that in Afghanistan, in the caves
And
of
they
Afghanistan.
got fucked up.
And they got fucked up. They had to send in a whole team with automatic weapons to kill the fucker. And a huge giant, red hair, with a spear, killing special forces guys. And I forget he had like a specific name, and it started with a K or something like that.
A redheaded stepchild, and he beat their ass.
That's right.
But no, like honestly, dude, the thing I wanted to talk about was, and this is back supposedly, and people supposedly have pictures. There are pictures of this floating around somewhere online, but supposedly during the eruption of Mount St. Helens, a number of Sasquatch died around that area of the mountain where the eruption, hit the biggest areas of ground zero around the mountain. And supposedly the army cordoned off the area, and the dead Sasquatch animals were taken out on military trucks. So why is that? Why would the military be involved? Why would they be taking, just...
I think that it's because these creatures might actually represent something that challenges their like assertion of reality as, they have control over what we're doing right now.
Well, it throws a wrench in Darwinism, at least as far as it applies to
well,
the creation of humans.
Yeah, it throws a wrench in a lot of things that
Sure.
they want us to believe. So it's in their best interest to hide these things.
Yeah,
Well, it's very interesting. Yes.
I got into a big fight with my ex about Bigfoot, and she's like, "Well, you know that they're just a bunch of dudes in the '60s walking around with giant footprints, right?" And I was like, "No, because there've been stories about that from the natives for thousands of years." And she's like, "Okay, well, where are they?" And sure as shit, I went to Google, and all of those search results are nil.
Soul Assassin, I understand that point too. So we know with their supposed habitat, especially in the West, in the Western states. All right. Now you can definitely understand that particular point of view in the case of Sasquatches that are of particular concentrated population in Washington State, in Oregon, in California. The logging industry. You could argue that endangers them, and in order to protect their habitat and whatnot, there would be parts of that area that would be basically no-go zones for anybody. That they would just call it, what do they do when they, basically close down an area and just leave it for habitat? Is it just a protected area?
Is it like turning it into a reserve or turning it into?
Yeah, and Soul Assassin's making the point that they would, essentially shut down.
Yeah, they absolutely
that
would.
area in order to just make it a nature preserve. And listen, I'm on the fence about that because if indeed this is another race of creature or something that is not genetically manipulated by the government, but just a higher being creature that happens to share that habitat, well, yeah, they kind of have a right to have their habitat protected. Especially if they're a species that functions like normal animals do and procreate and also continue their generational line. Yeah, they should be allowed to roam freely and not be infringed upon. But that is also a vital industry, so I understand the other side of it. So there is that portion of it. But again, when you get into the military being present, essentially cordoning off an area and running a secretive salvage operation to get these dead bodies out of there without people seeing, you have to wonder about that.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, and there's been many reports of the government not only covering up instances of Sasquatch, but like going in and removing the Sasquatch by lethal force and like flying them out of heavily wooded areas on like massive flats, basically. Up in Canada, British Columbia area. There's been reports of that happening before. And so it's not just the US government. It's like all the governments. It's a conspiracy. Just saying.
Well, yeah, and we're not even allowed to go and see what's in Antarctica.
Nope.
Yeah.
Normal people aren't allowed to go there. Even if they're incredibly experienced survivalists in cold weather and all kinds of stuff, and they're briefed, and if you're a civilian, you're not allowed to go. Period.
Yep. Big old UN resolution right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go figure. The UN, huh?
Yeah. Super shocking.
It's the super shocker. It's both pink and stink.
Yeah. Wow. 2 for each. Yep. That's some extreme shocking right there.
Yes.
So if they were covering, let's just run on a hypothesis train here. If they're covering up Sasquatch, what else do you think they could plausibly be hiding? Because I personally don't think that Chupacabra is a thing. And the government wouldn't hide something like Chupacabra. They're just like, oh, these people are dumb.
Well, what the fuck is Mothman?
A single instance that doesn't like a mass psychosis, as far as I'm concerned. That's what Mothman is. That's like the Jersey Devil. Give me a break. Misleads 13th child or whatever you want to call that bullshit. I just call it bullshit. Like Mothman, nah. At most, it was not some like prophetic thing. Yeah, but it was probably an interdimensional being that wanted to come here and watch some carnage unfold, and then it went the fuck home. Period. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't. He's not one of my favorites. Don't believe that. Just saying.
Well, I don't think Mothman believes in you, Corey.
That's fine. He's not the only one. Yeah, the entire world doesn't believe in me, so that's totally fine.
That's right. I have several exes who no longer believe in me.
Yeah, fuck them. Or don't. That usually complicates things if you do that, so probably not.
Believe in me.
Because I damn sure don't believe in. Yeah.
Well, it's fascinating to think about because, across the board with unexplained phenomena, it's always, there's a common denominator of the government meddling in it. They're knee deep in it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what
they're always in it.
Yeah, and that's what really fucks with me.
All right, we're getting a couple of hashtags going here in the comment section. We're theorizing on the existence of Corey.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Well,
nobody has really actually can confirm that Corey actually exists. We only see him on the show.
This is true.
Yeah.
MILF man, dude, I would be MILF man.
MILF man.
The MILF man prophecy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Kool-Aid man. He just comes in the room whenever he wants.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got that? All right.
Love it.
Well, Death Angel's Shadow says UN stands for untrustworthy nitwits. Correct. Absolutely.
They're the uncola.
Nice, Andy. Hey, Sandy. There you go.
Corey does not exist.
He's operating. Yeah. He's operating from a hand up his ass.
That's right.
I am, in fact, a meat puppet.
Yeah.
We will offer you guys $300,000 for proof of the existence of Corey.
And welcome to
Wes
of the Wes Moody webcast, aka whatever cast now these days. And we've been having a fantastic conversation, Wes. I just alluded to the incident shortly. If I can take you back some years to the eruption of Mount St. Helens, where supposedly, and there are photographs of this floating around the web, a number of Sasquatch were died, visibly dead bodies strewn around the most impacted areas of where the eruption took place. And apparently the U.S. Army cordoned these areas off. And as the story goes, they loaded these Bigfoot corpses on flatbed military trucks and took them away. And my question again is, the common denominator here is why was that an Army operation?
That seems a little weird. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. How recent was this?
This was back during the eruption of Mount St. Helens. This was a
Early
hush
90s?
hush. Yeah, that was when did Mount St. Helens erupt? That was
1980.
1980 or 81. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I thought that was.
wow.
Yeah. But my question is, why would they do that unless they are directly involved with this, with these situations of unexplained phenomena? Yeah, RR says 80. Andy Masterson says 1980. Yeah, it was 1980.
That's a good question. Yeah, I didn't know anything about there being any government involvement in pulling bodies out.
I've heard that for years, but I live out here.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, they cordoned off the area, and yeah, the word was that there was dozens of Bigfoot bodies.
Well, that would be freaking fantastic if we could find out more about that. There's got to be somebody that says, that was involved in the roundup, that maybe there's a deathbed confession floating around out there somewhere. A lot of people sometimes will, for families and stuff, they'll do, like a private autobiography. It's weird. The Rockefellers do it all the time. Maybe there's one of those rattling around like, hey, I was at Mount St. Helens and I pulled out Sasquatch bodies.
Yeah, that certainly was a case for Roswell, where they waited until like the late 90s or the early 2000s when all those fuckers started dying
Yep.
to say that, yeah, there were bodies present. Yeah, I handled some debris.
Well, again, these operations are kept so secretive, and we don't know where most of these black budget dollars go. All right, and I alluded to as well earlier, Wes, in regards, in letting the audience know we're going to really cover in depth the Chinese spy balloon saga on Tuesday, but from the standpoint of how many either foreign nations or our own technology has been passed off as UFO or UAP activity, when in reality it's high-tech surveillance craft that have never been seen before or disclosed to the public. How many of these are those?
There's a lot of questions I have about this whole balloon saga. I haven't really. What's your take so far, Corey? I'm kind of curious.
On the balloon thing,
Yeah.
I don't really have strong feelings one way or the other. It feels like another distraction. Because what the fuck are they spying on with a gigantic balloon? Absolutely fucking nothing. What's a great delivery method for aerosolized toxins? A giant ass balloon. What's also a great way to fucking troll the shit out of an entire nation? A giant fucking balloon with what looks to be a satellite strapped to the bottom. Yeah, okay, some junk. So you can buy a 22-foot
Array.
I don't know how big this thing was, but you can buy a 22-foot one, and you can get some old solar panels. You can strap that shit up, and boom, Chinese spy balloon. I don't have enough facts about anything to make rational judgment on the balloon. It's a distraction. It's a worthless distraction. Because what are they getting from a balloon that they're not already getting from our phones?
And satellites and TikTok. Yeah.
Well, and also the fact that what they own farmland basically right up against military installations, so they're already going and spying that way. So what the hell is the difference? I kind of agree with Corey. It's a bit of a distraction. Although I will say this, and I think Alex Jones brought the most plausible theory to the table when he said that if the payload was anything, it would be smart if it was electromagnetic weaponry, a la EMP, because an EMP from altitude is probably the most effective that it's ever going to be.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with Corey too. I think it's a giant distraction. I mean, and since you brought up Roswell, one of the things about the weather balloon is that we did have a lot of balloons that we used to send. That's how we found out about the the Russian atomic bomb. Was we sent balloons over and they were measuring I guess like fallout and stuff like that.
Sure, but they didn't have any sort of orbital satellites at that point, so high altitude balloons were the cutting edge skyhook. That's what they called it.
Hey, E-Ren, what's going on, man? Great to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. And I know that, RR says, that was the big guy's payment for being the best Manchurian candidate money can buy.
We need to take him out for ice cream now.
Terminus S says the Chinese balloon stories are all cover-ups. That was actually one of Drew's sperm that got loose and drifted up into the atmosphere. Yeah.
Hashtag beware the Drew.
Exactly. Yeah, the other thing that was interesting here was I think somebody said that Keck said China was trying to return a laptop sent to them for repairs.
Yeah, they're like, this shit's too depraved even for us, and we eat dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
China.
Oh, I 100% agree with that, Death Angels. That is a statement I think most people can get behind.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they interviewed one of the former commanders of NORAD, right? And he's just like, huh? Like it's a balloon, like big deal, They were trying to make him say something that would make it sound like it was a bigger deal than it was. And he was like, it's a slow moving balloon,
I am honestly surprised no one shot it down with a rifle.
Yeah.
Like there's some crazy people out there.
Yeah, that would be cool if it was like Independence Day, where all the Angelinos were shooting at the visitor's ship. All of them were shooting at the balloon.
Yeah, pretty much. But
that was such a believable news report in that movie.
But yeah, there's some very interesting stories in general, though, just about the government hiding, especially paranormal and unexplained phenomena. That's the thing. Again, getting to the main gist of the show tonight, it just really has always fascinated me on that end of it, because not enough people, I think, discuss that end of it, because people are like, yeah, it's hard to wrap my mind around it, but it's really not when you think of genetic experimentation and animal human hybrids and things like that we've seen, weird photos of supposedly humans, but they're misshapen or misproportioned. I mean, very weird. So you have to wonder.
I've also seen videos. I can't speak to their authenticity, but there have been a few videos that have been showing some strange anatomical features that don't fit human anatomy either, where it's like double eyelids, retro shine in the back of the eyes, like all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, I've read shit about MIBs for years, where they might be engineered beings that have a just enough of a life to accomplish their missions, go out and intimidate the fuck out of somebody, and then come back to base for
decommissioning.
Yep.
Yeah. Hail tiny metal trees. What's going on, buddy? I've often wondered about about things like that. About
I've often wondered about things.
Yes,
things and stuff.
I guess.
Oh yes, the stuff too. Yes.
It's very thing-like thoughts there.
Yes.
Yeah. Good night, Andy. Take care of yourself.
Nice, sir.
Yes, Andy, go out and find out whether or not Corey actually exists.
More transhumanism abominations, says RR.
There's definitely going to be an uptick in that soon too.
Sure, we're about due for another flood, huh?
Yeah, the expanding use of scientific balloons is a cost-effective alternative to orbital and suborbital spaceflight has driven the development of ultra-high altitude balloon vehicles, UHAB. Of particular interest is the ability to fly payload approaching 900 to 1,000 kg to altitudes in excess of 45 kilometers using traditional zero pressure designs. Very, very interesting.
Of course, they'll use DARPA to shoot it down.
Well, you have to really wonder what there's all there on that there platform. Yeah,
DARPA.
Derp.
This balloon story just doesn't make any sense. The actual MSM story.
Maybe the Durka shot it down.
Muhammad Jihad.
They should have fueled it up with hydrogen instead of helium or whatever other gas they used. You know, when you shoot something down, you want to see boom.
It's filled with poof gas. That's going to be the next pandemic.
Yeah. It definitely didn't get hot, so it wouldn't have killed everything.
Yo, Joe, my name is Jihad Joe.
Jihad Joe.
Yeah. Show me your Bob's and Bagan. Oh man, I'm telling you though, honestly, like if you would have told me 10, 15 years ago that we'd see some of the insane incidents that we've seen unfold, I would just be beside myself. Like, yeah, right.
That's why the Hopi Indians are pointing and laughing right now. They knew all this shit was coming.
I mean, yeah, the past decade even has been bizarre. And hail through the veil, what's going on? Great to see you, my friend. You know, always love seeing my pal through the veil. She is one of the best paranormal investigators that I know that does field work, and she is absolutely awesome. If you don't follow her content, man, what are you doing? You got to follow her stuff because, man, she has some killer investigations on her channel, and she also has a good presence on Twitter. And I haven't seen your tweets in a while. I wonder if they're suppressing you, Vale. So I would check your Twitter just to be safe. But definitely subscribe to her because she's got some awesome investigative content. Because she's been killing it lately with going out different places. RR says the globalists must be laughing their asses off at getting everyone to stop discussing anything else except the damn balloon.
Yep.
Maybe it was that family that tried pulling a hoax that their kid was on a runaway balloon, i.e. balloon kid.
Right. I remember that.
That was fun. That was based up on.
Tobat says, Jihad Joe, now at Target. So much fun. Your kids will explode with excitement. Oh, God, that's great. Death Angel Shadow says, hydrogen is frequently used. Helium is getting to be very expensive. At that altitude, there's not as much oxygen concentration to enable the giant fireball you'd expect.
That's fair.
Yeah, I see it.
Would a Zeppelin have reached it? I don't know.
John Bonham can from where he is.
If they were playing the immigrant song, maybe.
Yeah.
uh,
Gee,
says,
Joe, have your parents help you with assembly.
RR says, I'm sure it reinforces the belief we deserve to be wiped out. Yeah, it's crazy.
It does. Like even smart people are falling for that shit. I can't believe it.
All right,
Like,
well, I know.
we need to shoot that balloon down. Biden's, just sitting on it, and as a weak leader, it just shows how weak he is. And it's like, huh?
What?
It's a balloon, man. Spray some lemon juice at it. It'll pop. It's fine.
All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to Corey so he can talk about where he can be found because he does have to step away and go retire for the evening. So,
Yes, indeed.
thank you for being here, sir, as always. And,
Hell
you
yeah.
know, you give your final thoughts on the topic and let everybody know where they can find you.
Well, my final thoughts on the topic is that the government's definitely hiding creatures that we are unaware of. And we need to know what they are. If I ever become president, I'm declassifying everything. Yeah. There we go. There's my presidency run. Yeah. Think on it. Anyway, find me Sir Toxalot on YouTube. Tonight I will be doing Toxalot Gaming, a continued playthrough of Monster Hunter Rise. It's still my first playthrough. I'm still seeing new monsters. It's really fun so far. So make sure you catch that. Tomorrow I will be doing Corey's Corner episode 12, where I will be talking about coping mechanisms, and any guests that want to join me, the invitations will go out to select people, but I'm not going to be overly gentle about this conversation.
Will there be Bob's?
Will there be what?
Bob's?
So
Bob's?
I doubt it. The only boob that's going to be on that channel is me, unfortunately. So, yeah. And then, of course, I should be on Yelling at Parked Cars, barring any more stupid shit happening in, real life.
Show some bagan.
Indeed. But I will catch you guys later. Stay sexy. Don't get murdered. And as always, have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Take it easy, buddy.
There you go, Corey.
What a great outro.
Yeah, absolutely. We
We need to come up with something cool like that.
That's why we have the. I love this Sunday program because this is like the most laid back panel you can have. I mean, it's great. I love it, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. So that's why, this is a fun show. This is probably the most fun paranormal show there is because we don't take ourselves seriously. I mean, we have serious discussions about the topic, but it's just we do it in a fun way. That's what's so cool about it. Hail the woke breaker. Good to see you. Death Angel says, "How dare real life interfere with our fun?" Exactly. RR says the government is a pack of lying dog-faced pony soldiers. That's right.
Yeah.
Digital Remnant says, "Is the government smart enough to hide anything?" And hail to you, Digital Remnant. This Chicon balloon makes me doubt the UFO footage. Too many eyes in the sky. We have seen them from the ground. It's a great point. Yeah, it's funny. I wonder what Vale would say. I'm going to wait for her to respond in the chat because I wonder what she thought of that whole Chinko balloon. We'll see what she says about it. Tobat says hashtag shoot down all balloons. Nice. Yeah. I don't know about
a big controversy about a balloon release in like Michigan or something.
There was, I believe, at one time there was one that was there was a balloon release in downtown Cleveland where apparently it fucked some things up.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, there's a huge balloon release, right? And all these balloons, I guess a lot of them got caught in power lines and started fires and shut power down. And, a bunch of them popped and a bunch of them, it was so cold, went back into one of the Great Lakes and caused, a lot of pollution.
Yeah. Well, Lake Erie, we already those of us that have lived here for quite a long time, um, and it's funny. We always speculated they have the three-eyed fish here. Uh, Through the Veil says, "Yeah, I didn't know it was even there, and I heard they shut it down not far from here." I'm like, it's been there how long? And you did what? Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's so hard. There's some people that take this so super serious, and I could buy, the EMP theory about it, but even then, even if it's a test run for EMP delivery, it's so obvious of a thing. I mean, like, why do that? But then maybe, they're trying to do it as a psych out, but it's just so stupid obvious.
Well, there'd be easier ways to deliver it than a balloon. You'd think a drone could be flown
Absolutely.
in quite easier.
Absolutely.
Especially because Americans themselves use drones to make silly videos.
There's another theory that I have about the balloon release that assumes that there are some competent people in our government. So it's a long shot, but maybe, I'm assuming a lot here. I'm assuming that probably they float balloons over our territory quite often, and that this is just one of the one times we hear about it.
Yeah.
It's probably been going on for decades. We do it all the time. There's a record of us doing it. I mean, again, my earlier example of that's how we found out the Russians had a nuclear, an atomic bomb. And so the theory is that we're making a big deal out of this one to kind of, rattle some sabers at China and say, hey, fuckers, if we want to go to war with you, we'll come up with an excuse to go to war with you. Don't fuck with us.
Well, I could tell you like 100%. All right. Just based on U.S. military readiness, the composition of the U.S. military right now, the quality of training of the U.S. military right now, we would get absolutely destroyed by China. They are
again. That's why I said it's a long shot. It assumes that there's someone competent in there somewhere.
They are at a different level of tactical readiness right now, and they would absolutely kick our ass. I have no doubt in my mind about that.
Well, and isn't that the point of our degrading state of the military?
Oh yeah, it was intentional degradation of the military by introducing all of this. The
soy element.
Yeah, exactly. For lack of a better term, Coyle, you're spot on, because you can't turn everything in the military woke. That's just one place you can't ever have wokeness. I mean, it doesn't translate there. It's not supposed to translate there. That's where you are sending people to fight your conflicts on the front lines. There's no time for wokeness and oh, my pronouns garbage. If you got people like that, those people need to stay home. They don't need to be in the middle of firefights and in the middle of trying to secure strategic goals. So,
sure. Well, there were a record number of people who were signing up just so that they can get their gender reassignment surgery.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was why they were right. They're all over Trump, and Trump's like, "Look, people are doing this, and then they're leaving." It's not a wise investment. He's thinking, putting on his business person hat.
Right.
I don't watch enough news, says Through the Veil. I would be the last one to know if zombies broke out. Well, you don't want to get your news from the MSM, Bailey, and you know that because you're a smart lady. Shit,
it would be a mostly peaceful,
yeah,
zombie attack.
Well, that's the thing too, is nobody would be paying attention because they all have earbuds in and they're staring at their cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even look in the sky anymore.
Yeah, I'm always out scanning the sky, man. Every time I step out for a cigarette, I'm always scanning the sky, checking stuff out. That's how I've spotted drones just hovering over my house. And I'm like, oh, wow. wonder what that's doing there.
Yeah, you got to have situational awareness. I don't know. I had some weird stuff happen yesterday where I thought somebody was scoping out. I was at Taco Bell. I thought this dude was scoping out the Taco Bell. I was like, this dude looks like he's getting ready to rob this place. You just get one of those weird feelings. It's like, I'm gonna position myself in a place where if the shit goes down, I'm not going to be in any trouble here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Look at poor Russia trying to fight Ukraine with our handouts. Yeah, I mean, you said it, dude. But even that war, to a large degree, is BS. It's BS. It's a money laundering war. It's that's all that is. Spot on, 100%.
I find it funny that the White House is saying that Russia's so bad when clearly the president and his son love Russia.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's always that, dude. It's playing one off against the other. That's the classic misdirection play.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I know we're going. Usually got about 4 minutes left in the show because we usually go till about 1:15. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know really quick about the Give Send Go, which has been doing pretty well. We've only got $900 left to go. As I said, for those of you that weren't here, we have as of today made a deal, and the house is going to go into pending status now. So I am actually really going to be leaving Ohio for the first time in my entire life. So that's good. But that being said, do need a little help. You got $900 to go to get to the goal, and the rest of this money is going to be used to. Obviously, we've got an appraisal coming up. Got some last minute touch-ups that need to be done on paint and certain other things. A couple of supplies that need to be gotten, things of that nature, and then the rest, need to pick up some things for moving, as well as I need to pay off the last round of utilities before they get their final shut off, and I pay them off for good. But I need to pay, the final monthly payments on those. So all of that is in the works right now. And if you can help, or even just share this out, and we can get that last $900 to get over the hump, man, it is much appreciated. So thank you so much for that. And all right, let me go over to the rest of the gents on the panel. And we will start with Wes of Whatevercast.
Well, great to be here. I'm glad I was able to make Midnight Prism. I've, at least for my side gigs, since we're talking about financials here, I finally was able to scrape together a few pennies to even have a bit of a break. But it's great to be here. You can find me at, I know most of the folks here are my friends and are subscribed to me, but if you're catching us on the replay, you can find me at youtube.com/whatevercastofficial. And I can't think of something cooler than what Corey said, so I'll just say, let me channel something here. Remember, folks, turn your attitude into gratitude.
And we go over to our friend Immortal Coil.
What's happening, YouTube? You are listening to Immortal Coil, your oracle of whiskey mysticism. I am going to be doing an impromptu live stream here probably in about 15-20 minutes. So if you guys want to hop on over to my channel, I'll be talking about some of the paranormal shit that's been going on with me.
Gonna show some bops.
Well, I was hoping that I would see some cryptid bobs on this one, some cryptid vagine. But yeah, we'll go into it. I got a couple of videos that I'm cooking on right now. I'm sort of in the middle of contemplating a revamp of my channel, so we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But you can catch me here on Supreme Drew's channel. You can catch me here Sunday nights for this program, and I believe I might pop in on a Tuesday. So thanks for showing up. Love you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And, I want to thank Through the Veil again because she just brought up a great topic for next week. And that is the fact that, what is up with the strange noises from underground? What is going on underground? We always talk about looking up. What's going on beneath our feet, and there have been many strange noises reported, strange rumbling from the ground, strange sounds, almost the noises that sound almost like terraforming. Very, very crazy stuff. And that is a good question to ask for next week, so let's hold on to that. I like that idea. So shout out to Through the Veil for picking next week's topic inadvertently. Thank you for the wonderful compliments and everything about the house. I mean, those of you that are my friends that know me know the absolute ordeal that it's been just getting to this point. So it's a milestone, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy about it. A big weight is lifted off my shoulders from that sense. So thank you guys for being great friends, and for the moral support, and also, of course, those of you that have contributed to either when I had the fund for Mom's funeral or the one now, or both. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but you stepped up and you did, and it's 100% appreciated. And I am so very grateful. So I want to say, you truly, folks, are the best viewers a creator could have. You are indeed the best chat on YouTube. So take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
And take care of each other, man. And look out for your fellow man. That's what we need to do. But, I will see you guys Tuesday. Keck 44 says Drew's sleeping on his stomach. Ground tremors. That's what it is. Yep. You busted me, dude.
Beware the Drew.
Tummy sticks.
Yeah. So thank you guys. And I will keep everybody in the loop as to what's happening. I'm sure that my next destination is going to be East Tennessee. I just have to figure out where. So I'm looking forward to it. So I'll be able to do some interesting blogs once I'm all settled there. Drew's Adventures in the Mountains. Although it might just be me exploring a pair of bobs. Show bobs. But yeah. I will see you guys soon. Yes, Sideshow Bob. Side Bob.
Side bobs are a thing. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Side bobs, man. All right.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
Come on, man.
Well, our lives have changed. He's not kidding about that.
I think I heard somebody yell "shut up" at the end.
Yeah, I know it sounds like that, doesn't it?
That was me.
All right. We'll see you, folks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, True Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? And get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone Death rocking.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi guys, try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.